Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ray Love and I'm back with another story time. That's what I'm back with. Another story time. First of all, y'all, I went and got me a little snack. Now, this is not my normal setup. Y'all know I'm coming back with the mukbang with my setup, but I'm just telling y'all story time when I was hungry. So I got me a pork chop. My son made this thick cut pork chop. It's still so juicy. And I got some fried shrimp here that I had. So I'm gonna say my prayers. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for this food I'm about to receive. In Jesus' name, always, amen. All right, this is not an official mukbang, but we're eating while we're telling this story time. I'm just going to take a bite. Look at that pork chop, y'all. It's so juicy. He did his thing. All right, let me get into the story time. So you can tell by the title what I'm going to talk about. I asked y'all on Instagram. Y'all nosy. Everybody want to hear both stories. So it was either between the time I had to call the cops on my neighbor on New Year's Eve or me telling you a story about my first love. So you want to hear both. So I'm going to do both. But everybody went to hear A first. A was the police.
That's suspicious.
Of course. Y'all know Z. All right. So, this happened on, New Year's Eve. This New Year's Eve. When y'all see me come on live and say Happy New Year's, blah, blah, blah. That morning, I was dealing with some stuff. And the gang knew because I was sending them pictures. All right. So, the day before New Year's Eve, right? I'm in the house, chilling. I got family over. I'm thinking, you know, New Year's Eve is coming. I'm excited. So, I hear my neighbor screaming. Like, at the top of her lungs, y'all. So the way this building is, there's only 4 apartments in it. And she's right across the hall from me. So I hear all this commotion. I mean, but I don't hear nobody screaming back. So she's in there. She's like, you bitches, you whores. I mean, every name you could think of is coming out this lady's mouth. So I'm on some like, wow, she got a bad phone call. Maybe a friend of hers did something, you know, thinking it don't got nothing to do with me. I don't even know you. And like, I say hi to her. I noticed that because I have manners. So I say hi. And I noticed that she wouldn't say like really anything back. At first it started out like a, hey, how you doing? And then it was straight like nothing. And this has been going on for months. I just thought, wow, she's really rude. It's hot. So yeah, I just thought, wow, she's mad rude. Somebody say hi. And you don't say hi back. Rude.
Suck my dick. And I know you think because I'm a woman I don't have a dick, but I have a pink dildo in my dresser.
Anyway. Guys, this wasn't for like 10 minutes. This was about, and I'm not exaggerating, I want to say about 3 hours of somebody just continuously screaming. I mean, and saying things like, you want to see crazy? I'm crazy. I mean, losing it. So I'm like, wow. But for some reason, my friend was with me and I'm like, yo, I have a weird feeling. Now, I get these feelings, guys. I'm just one of them people. I get these feelings, and when they come over me, it's nothing I could do about it. I'll give you an example. One time, this is before it was legal. I about to smoke, and my cousin rolled up, and she was like, yo, I'm about to light it. I said, I just got this feeling you shouldn't light it. She like, girl, what's wrong with you? I just got this deep feeling. 2 minutes later, cops came around the corner. Now it's legal. So where y'all at, cops? You can't do nothing to me.
Look at you now, watching me.
But anyway, yeah, so I get these feelings and they don't leave. So it quieted down in about 3 hours. This is December 29th. So I'm like, well, no, this is December 30th. So I'm like, our pork chop is good. Shout out to Shawnee. So I'm like, all right, it's quiet. I can taste it. I just want to eat everything. So I'm like, well, maybe something happened between her and a friend of hers or something. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So that night that she was screaming for 3 hours, I went downstairs. I was going to smoke. So I'm about to leave the building. When I open the door with my friend, on her door, facing me, is a note. And it says, oh, that's my bestie calling. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I know it feels like seconds to y'all, but she had me on that phone for like a good 6 minutes. And it, whatever. I gotta stop answering when I'm filming because I know she's gonna see it's gonna be nothing important. Anyway, where was I? Alright, so we opened the door. And there's a note on it and it said, I don't have to, I'm exaggerating what I feel like it feels like. I don't have to deal with your spills, you nasty women. And I'm talking to you, Rachel.
I can't. Get out.
I'm like, when I seen it, y'all, I literally backed up. I looked at my friend, I said, what I told you? She was like, okay, close the door. Trying not to react, you know what I'm saying? She ain't out there, but just trying not to react. I lost my mind. So now I'm banging on my door. You crazy bitch. I'm giving her what she gave me, like, because I'm thinking, you're crazy. You was screaming all that time, and it was about me. You said my name. How you even know my name? I'm like, a spell. Then it come to me. We have community hallways, right? I mean, obviously, to get to your apartment. So I see that there was a spill down there, but like, it's 4 families. Everybody got kids. I don't know where the spill came from. I really don't. But like normal people, we called maintenance and said, can y'all mop the hallway? And they did. So I really didn't know what all the screaming was for. It was so bad that my neighbor from downstairs came upstairs and was like, are you guys all right? What the hell? And we was like, yo, we don't know, but I know we seen this note. Now we talking outside her door. She definitely can hear us. So my friend, whatever, she ripped the note down. Like, what the fuck is wrong with her? I mean, we're really thinking like, you have to be crazy. Something's really wrong with her. Like, all right, we let it go. The next day come. And it's New Year's Eve. I got a family here, they cooking. I'm getting ready to drink, you know, have a good time. Safely in the house and all that good stuff. But I start hearing that morning cussing and screaming again. Now it's nasty whores. And now I'm pissed, like, wait a minute, she was talking about me the last time. I mean, everything, guys. You talk about your kids ain't this and your kids is old. And I just didn't know what she was, and screaming. I wanted to get through to you guys how she was screaming at the top of her lungs. And I really don't know why. So, next morning, it happened, but she gets quieter, like it quiet down. I still go downstairs, I'm going to smoke, whatever. I see her outside her door. And she's like, pulls her kid towards her, but she don't say nothing to me. I don't say nothing to her. The screaming start again. And it's early in the morning. So now my friend is tired. She's like, no, it's New Year's Eve. You spazzed out already. She spazzed and we don't even know what's wrong with her. So she opens the door. She comes out, what the F? You know, is wrong with you? So the girl, the lady, runs down the steps. away from the door, so we're not like next to each other. And she's like, "You bitch!" "You bitch!" Then I look at her door, and it's another note on there.
It's about to go down.
Mental illness is real. You crazy. You and the rest. And it's like she spells the word bitch, but leaves out the I and the C. Crazy. So I'm like, yo, this lady been living here for 3 years. Like, why are you spazzing right now? I really didn't get it. And obviously we didn't care at this point. So it's a screaming match. Like, fuck you. What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, it's a screaming match. I realize I'm the one with this brains. I realize, what are we fighting for? Like, I don't know.
No, chill.
Anyway, the lady leaves out. So my family is here. You know, they're older. Now they really that serious. Like, call the police. Because it won't stop. I mean, this is hours. We keep hearing her in her house. Screaming. She got kids. Like, why are you cursing and screaming like that? And we think she's having a nervous breakdown, to be honest. Because we don't know her like that.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
Now you know I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So the police come out. So we showed them the ripped up note that we just took off the door. So they like, you took it off the door? And we're like, yeah. They're like, you can't do that. Like, it's her property. You can't take it off the door. But they understood, like, this note reads like mental illness is here. This is what they were saying. So I'm like, look, somebody needs to knock on that door. Because, you know, I don't want no violence because I'm really nice. I got spirit hands and all that. But my spirit hands, they turn into fish. Period. So I was tight. So I'm like, well, knock on the door. But she went to the laundry. We saw her when she ran out. So they knock on the door. Nobody's there. So they gave us their personal cell phone number. Like, 2 black women police officers. They was like, here, take our cell phone number and call us when she returns and we'll come back around. So we hear her return about an hour later. We call them like, all right, y'all can come back around. She's still screaming. The minute she gets in her crib, screaming to the top of her lungs, cussing and cussing and cussing. I don't know why. So my neighbor downstairs, she started blasting gospel music with her door open. Cause she like, now it's tiring. And if you know me, I'm not even that type of person. Like, I'm really laid back, easy breezy. I don't like to disrespect nobody. I don't want nobody disrespecting me. But like, I don't have a problem. I don't like having problems and conflict and things like that. It's just not who I am. So she playing gospel mad loud. She like, yo, when the cops come, let me know. Turn it down. But I cannot listen to her no more. And she had the door open. Like, it's too much. All that for what? We just don't know. So the cops was like, this is the crazy part. The cops was like, we called them. They're like, well, right now you guys have a shooting that's like a couple blocks away. I'm like, normal shit. So they like, so I'm gonna send somebody else, but I'm gonna fill them in on what's going on. So I'm like, all right. Now a man and a woman come. Still people of color. So they come, and I'm like, we go downstairs and we explain it to them. And they're like, okay. And they see the note. They're like, yeah, it seems like something mental illness. Maybe you guys, like, she's going through an episode or something. Like, I don't know. So they tell us, go in your apartment. You know, we're not going to be right there when we knock on the door. Go in your apartment. So we go in the apartment, but we can hear everything. So they knock on the door. She answers like, yes, hello. Like she normal. Like she normal. Huh? And she starts crying, y'all. Crying. And she's like, they called you and said I'm harassing them. They're really harassing me. I'm like, what? We're through the door. Like, what? She's like, a couple of months ago. Now, it must have been, I want to say, y'all, it wasn't a couple months. I really want to say it was a year ago. We put a dresser outside of our door. And we're going to bring it down. But it's very, very heavy. So, we left it there, I want to say about 2 days. And maintenance knocked on the door and they was like, can you please remove this? Your neighbor across the hall is complaining. We was like, all right, so we removed it. Not a big deal. So every night, let's say we have garbage, like your garbage. We don't have incinerators and stuff like that. You actually physically have to go all the way out. So sometimes we'll take it out our house, put it in front of our door until the next person's ready to go downstairs and drop it out. So she tells the officer, like, they do it to me on purpose. They doing it to spite me because I complain about the dresser. But y'all, that's not true. We wasn't even thinking about her. Like, you know when your mind is not even on the person? So I'm like, wow, I'm thinking she crazy. Anyway, a family member of mine come out and they're like, can I speak? Can I speak? An older woman. And she's like, listen, they're not even like that. Like, she started speaking and you basically got really angry and you was in a rage and they don't even know why. So when you're saying all this to the cop, like, she was listening. She was like, they don't even know what's wrong. So I'm going to bring them out. So they bring me and my friend out, whatever. My friend ignorant, she don't want to hear it. Like, she got that face like, she bad. I'm listening to the lady. So I'm like, first of all that you calling us bitches and whores, why? Why? She had nothing to say. I'm telling you, her face looked like this, guys. I'm like, you got that mad because we put our own garbage in front of our house before we go downstairs? I don't have to run downstairs for you. If an hour later my son going to the store, he take it out, it's not a big deal. I was like, also, the kids, like when it rains or snows, we be like, yo, keep your shoes out there. They have their shoes there. And they pull it back in. Like, what is your problem? Now, the cop straight told her, like, this is communal and this is in front of their door. Like, and I was like, the point is, we're not doing it on spite. But I said, you never knocked on my door and said, hey, I don't like those there. Or, hey, can you move that? You never said anything. So your reaction is disproportionate to what actually happened. You never told us anything. She's still like this. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. Something ain't right.
I know that's right.
What? Because nobody gets that mad for that. And at least if you did, you would get that mad because you said something. She apologized. It was over. And I went in feeling more confused than I did before I knew anything. I mean, genuinely confused, y'all, because I just didn't get it. Moral of the story is, now I see her now, and we still don't say, she's still kind of rude. We still don't say hello and goodbye, which I don't care about, but all of that was, like, really crazy. New Year's Eve, and I don't think the cops got here till like 6, so we had to deal with that all day, screaming, yelling, didn't know, you know, just psychoness. Anyway, that leads me to my good tip of the day. And I got two good tips of the day. My first good tip of the day is when you feel something in your soul that is just not right. Everybody around you could be saying, oh, that person cool. There's nothing wrong with them. It's something deep in your soul that lets you know, like, I don't care if the person walk in the room. You know if you being a hater. You know if you just don't like nobody because you just don't like them, which is really rude and immature. But if you have a feeling that keep nagging you, because I've had that before, that it just wasn't right. I felt something, and it's always the truth. Listen to your intuition. And my second good tip of the day is, do not let another person's behavior bring you down. Bring you to stoop to their level. And I mean that because as angry as I was when I seen that letter, as angry as just the fact that I had to go through it, and I cannot even give it to you guys how much screaming was being done that the day before. I really thought she was talking about maybe her man or something. Like, I really didn't know, but it was ridiculous. If I let that bring me down, I would have sounded just like her. I would have banged on that door, beat her up, argued with her. All that for what? All that for what? Because she can't communicate? Do not allow other people to bring you down to where they are. I don't care what somebody doing to you. I have people working on me right now. Right now. And I mean that. Trying to just get under your skin, annoy you the way, make you believe whatever they want you to believe. I'm telling you, do not go down there. You know why? Because sometimes bad energy, they just want to feed off of something. You ever told somebody like, yo, this is bothering me, can you please not do it? And you see them keep doing it, they want you to be annoyed. You know what you do? Ignore it. You know why? because they lose their power. You could do that every day. Now you're just doing it for yourself, and it's weird. And you gotta live with yourself. Like, you gotta actually think about the things that you do every day. Like, I was actually doing that. I know people thinking to themselves, like, yo, I'm really bugging. I need some medication or something. What's wrong with me? You really, 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 it's important to just be yourself. And who I am is the type, I don't really like to argue. I like my arguments to have meaning. If I'm gonna fucking argue with somebody, I want it to have meaning. Like, I'm saying something because I'm tight and you should know it. Don't let people bring you down. Because honestly, it's usually something that they lack. She lacked communication. Or else all this would have been done. Guys, the reason why the story sounds a little weird, probably weird to you too, is because it is. Because I'm still confused. Even when she said it just don't make no sense. I really believe, like, yeah, she was pissed at that, but it was like she projected all her shit that was happening to her maybe for the last 2 days. Ain't nobody screamed like that, guys. You would have to have smacked her kid the way she was screaming. But don't let nobody bring you down. That is my good tip of the day. That is my story time. I am coming back tomorrow with another story time. And it's going to be a double upload because I'm going to have a mukbang because I can smell and taste. And I'm so excited. You know, you go from feeling completely clear and now I'm hearing myself. I'm still a little stuffy. But whatever, I'm back. Yeah, that's my good tip of the day. And shout out to Vaughn because I'm doing these story times because I see him doing story times. He inspires me to just be transparent. And a lot of times I'll be worried about what somebody gonna feel, what somebody gonna think from my family, things like that, any little things. But as long as I'm comfortable with what I'm sharing, that's really all that matters. So my next story time will be about the first time I fell in love. I got others. I got funny stuff. Listen, my life is not what you think it may be. Trust me. Trust me. I could tell by the way people talk about me, like they know and you don't. So I decided to let you in on that. And I'm still tired. That COVID ain't no joke. Anyway, I love you guys. I love sharing this story with you. Comment down below. Tell me what you would have did. Tell me did that story make sense and if she all right. Mental health is serious too. Take that seriously. Take that seriously when you're talking to somebody. I'm not saying you could take things seriously and not live your life for that person. It's not fair. Even if people go through things mental health wise or they spaz out, lash out, that's not your responsibility. And I learned that in therapy and I'm living by it. I'm living proof by it. Learn to exit a situation when you have to. Protect your peace at all times. Okay. Even in no matter what you do at your job, with your friends, I don't care how long you know them, protect your peace because people will not give it to you. And if they can disturb your peace at any moment, they will. Sometimes that's the only comeback they have. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I love you guys always, my motivators. Y'all keep me going. I love your comments. Stalk me on Instagram. I love, love, love y'all. And until we talk about people I have to call the cops on, eat a pork chop that's not in front of the camera, eat some shrimp or play with a cat. I'll see you guys soon. Later.